I have CS7 running, and I've been working on this pattern import idea for a while. Up here where it says patterns, if I click on that, you see there's not anything found anyway, but I can go and import a pattern. The question has been, how about using PVM and exporting a pattern to a USB drive and then importing that into CS7. Well, I found that works very well. This little icon, I can click on this. It says import pattern into Creative Studio. Click on this and just click on import pattern. Import pattern, and it's going to give me these options here. I can import patterns from any location I want to. So here's my USB drive disk E, and I click on PVM export, and I see nothing at this point, and I click OK. Then it gives me all of the patterns that are on this drive. So I'm going to just select some of these and bring them into the database. Notice they are all selected. So down here it says deselect all. I'm going to only select the patterns that I want to select. So I'm going to take this one and a couple more here. I'm specifically selecting these patterns for a reason, and I'll look at that in a moment. Okay, so I have these three selected. I'll just click on the import selected icon, and it will import those three patterns, and it says import complete, review. So I'm going to close this, and these are the three patterns that I imported. Now, another question that has come up is, what if I make a modification to patterns? What happens to them? Okay, I'm going to show you. I select this pattern here, and I should be able to select all three of them. No. So I have all three of them selected, and well, I really don't want to do that. I want to do this different. I'm going to bring this pattern over, and this pattern over, and this pattern over. Now, here's what I want to do with this. I want to take these patterns, you see the start and end are at the top of all three. I'm going to select this pattern right here, flip it vertically, put the start and end at the bottom. I'm going to save the pattern. Now it's going to come up with a box, and if I click this file here, and I can put it in the database, I can put it in the project. If I don't want it in the database, I could uncheck this box. Here it wants me to name it, and this pattern is the 1003 Daisy. So I'll just name it that 1003, and I'm just going to call it Daisy, and that's all I'm going to put there. So it is an edge to edge. I'll select that, and I don't want to put anything else. Okay, I can put I'll just put in something for the designer I'm not sure. I think maybe this was designed by Deb. I'll just put that in there. Okay. Now once I save it and close it, it's going to place another one, a copy of it, on the screen over here. See, there it is. Now the start and end is at the bottom. You can see that by these markers right there. So that's what happens to it. Now it has also saved it in a file. So I'll do this one. I'll do this one also. Select it, right click, save the pattern. Oh, now I want to first I want to flip it vertically. Then right click, save the pattern. Okay, pattern name on this one is this is the posies, edge to edge. Okay, so let me get out of that again. That is this pattern right here, which is this pattern. So right click, save it, and it's a pattern name. I'll give it a name, posies. Just posies. Okay. Again, I'll just say it's let's give it a DVD. It's an edge to edge. Now I want to put it in a file, and it's going to save this in a file. So when I click save, it's going to come up, and it's going to save it in all the patterns that I have modified. I just gave it this name. Okay, and down here it's going to do posies. It may tell me that this already exists, but it didn't. So that's how you can modify a pattern. If I did anything to a pattern to modify it, I could save it in the database, and I could also save it in a file. So you can see it's saving these patterns. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I only started out with 3. So every time I do this, it saves it. See, there's one now. The start and end is at the bottom. I'll save this one, and I think this is a sunflower. So if I right click here, flip it vertically, right click, save it, pattern name sunflower. Okay, then I'll just give it that, edge to edge. I want it to go in a file. If I don't click this file, it won't put it in that file that I made on the C drive. So now I have all the information in that I want, and I'll save it. And here it is, sunflower. It's going to go in this folder that I made to save them in. It's also going to go in the database. So you can see this is what happens. Now I have 2, 4, 6, and I only started out with 3 in my database. Okay, do I have a project going here? And no, I really don't. So I can make this into a project. Okay, what can I add to a project? I'm simply going to select this pattern, and this pattern, and I want one more. I want this one. And I'm going to add these to a project. What does it say? Can I put them in a project? Yes. Okay, if I switch back and forth between patterns, these are the patterns that are in my database. Okay, and then these are the patterns that are in my project. So if I don't want the other patterns, see, I want this one, and this pattern. I don't want these other three. I can delete these, remove. I just want to just this one pattern. Okay, I'm going to remove this one, this, and this. I selected these three. I right click, and if I remove these patterns, are you sure you want to remove 3 patterns from the project? Yes. Now these are the patterns that are in my project. So if I go back and forth between patterns and project, you'll see that on my pattern database, okay, I have 6 patterns here in my database, but when I select the project, I only have 3. That is the 3 that I put on the screen and modified by flipping them. So that's a way of working around how to export patterns. Once I'm finished, I'm going to go back over to my patterns. This is my database. And I will just select every one of these. And then I'm going to delete these 6 patterns from my database. Said, are you sure you want to delete 6 patterns? Yes. I want to delete them. Go back to my project. That has not affected my project at all. So now I don't have any patterns in my database, but I have 3 patterns in my project. So that's a way to work around the similar to the old way we did this in 6.0. So hopefully this will give you a little more information on working with patterns.